What's happening, everybody? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell. Oh my God, guys. So Tyler Perry, yes, Medea, Tyler Perry is at it again. And he's making us look silly, guys. I'm trying to find the best words because I'm not trying to sound too critical, too harsh. But Tyler Perry does a lot of things to not only make black people look stupid, black men look stupid. And this time it's just all of us. It's not just black women, black men. It's the whole black community. And the fact that he's the go-to guy for a lot of corporations, a lot of TV people, a lot of people in the media makes it worse because he is very popular. He is very well known. He's best friends with Oprah. Like, he has all these connections. And because of that, he gets on television and he continues to make us look silly. And this is the latest thing. So Tyler Perry hosted a BET special about COVID-19 vaccines. And I guess he brought in some different doctors and different medical professionals to tell black folks to assure black folks why it should be good to get the vaccine. Now, I'm not against anybody, get your vaccine if you think that's best. There is nothing wrong with people getting vaccines. We know the history of black folks and vaccines, so we understand why there's some skepticism, why there's some pushback, why there's some people that are against getting the vaccine. And I don't care whether you get the vaccine or not. To me, it doesn't matter. I've had family members in my family that decided to get the vaccine, and more power to them. I've had other people that I know that decided not to get the vaccine. To each his own. Do what you feel is best for you. If that is what helps us get over this pandemic, then by all means get it. Or if that's what you believe, then by all means get it. But don't try to make us look stupid, or don't try to play us like boo-boo the fool, like we're some idiots, to get us to take the vaccine. Like, don't do that. Like, I get it. Black folks, you know what I'm saying? I know there's this stereotype that we're stupid and we eat chicken and watermelon and all this dumb shit. Okay, I get all of that. But at the end of the day, we are intelligent people as well. We have thinking minds of our own. We can process, things, and things run through our brain. We don't need you to put it in ebonics, and we don't need you to talk to us like we're children and like we're 4 years old at a playground, right? And you're like, Jeff, what are you talking about? No, this is what took place on Tyler Perry's special. Tyler Perry brought a doctor on television, national television, BET, which is owned by Viacom. It's not owned by black people anymore. So that's why this got pushed through. Put a black doctor, a black female doctor on television and talk to us like we're idiots. Like, she literally is up there talking to us like we have a second grade education. Don't believe me? I'm going to play you the clip. Before I get to the clip, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, because I have a lot to say about this, but I'm going to try to condense it as quick as possible because I'm not trying to name call and bash on Tyler Perry, right? So first, I'm going to show you how Tyler Perry, how he is a media darling. This is an article from the New York Times. This is the New York Times, probably the biggest newspaper in the entire country. Right? Tyler Perry gets COVID-19 vaccine on TV to reassure black skeptics. You see how it's portrayed to us. You see how it's to reassure black skeptics. It's not like they should have anything to be scared of because black folks are the only ones not wanting to take the vaccine. There's plenty of people over different races and different ethnicities or whatever that decide they don't want to take the vaccine, but we've got to make sure the Negroes take it. We got to make sure the Negroes take it. So this is the New York Times article written by Miss Kara Buckley. And it talks about Tyler Perry and how with the pandemic, United States black people have died of COVID-19 at nearly 3 times the rate of white people, according to Centers to the CDC and Prevention. Health officials have been working to promote vaccinations in the black community to combat doubt. So we know, we've seen it. We've all seen the propaganda. We've all seen the infomercials and the marketing and all of these different things to try to get us, our people, to take the vaccine because they say we are dying 3 times the rate of COVID than others, right? But it's not because it's because we're the sick ones and we're the ones most likely to get sick. It's not because we have inadequate health care. It's not because our communities are poor and stricken of wealth. It's not because all these other things, but it's because we ain't taking a vaccine. So that's the way they try to get you. So now that we've gotten that straight, how much publicity Tyler Perry can get. He can get on the New York Times. He can get a special on BET and all of these different things because he is a media darling. Now we're going to show you how dumb they try to play us, how they try to use this oh my God, it's infuriating me just to talk about it. So this is a tweet from Tariq Nasheed. Now, I don't always agree with everything Tariq Nasheed puts out, but this man is B1 all day. Put the B1 in the chat if you believe that Tariq Nasheed is B1, which I do. I don't always agree with everything he says or the way he goes about everything, but he is black first. He is someone that cares about the black community. Whether I can say the same about Tyler Perry, I don't know. I don't know if Tyler Perry always is B1. I don't know if Tyler Perry is always B1 or M1, which is money first. And then Tyler Perry's got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So like that, one thing I know about Tariq Nasheed, whether he has these silly spats with people or gets the name calling or whatever, and whether you like that or not, it don't matter. He is B1. So here's what Tariq put out. He brought this to my attention. He brings a lot of things to my attention because he's a very smart man. He says, is one of the strategies to convince. So this is a clip from Tyler Perry's special on BET, by the way. So this is Tariq's tweet. Is one of the strategies to convince black people to take the mRNA vaccine. Is it to have a black doctor on he added BET because he ain't scared. He's telling the truth, using a bunch of outdated slang and jive talk to describe the vaccine. This sounds like blaxploitation movie from the 70s. And it's funny. So this is the black doctor. This is a black woman, at least perceived to be black woman doctor. I don't know. I didn't watch the special in its entirety, but I did watch clips. But this is perceived to be a black woman doctor trying to convince black folks to take the vaccine. Now let's listen to the way she speaks. Let's listen to the language she uses. Pay close attention to what she's saying and how she's saying it. Let's make it full screen. Actually, I'm going to, before we play it, I'm going to make my screen take me away because I want you guys to be able to see it in its entirety. So hold on. We seem like we got some technical difficulties. Let me make sure everything is working because we got a lot to discuss, people. We have a lot to discuss on this because you're going to see what I'm talking about. You are going to see what I'm talking about, and you're going to wonder what the hell is going on. So let me make sure, yes, we're able to see everything. Let's make it big. Once again, this is Tariq's tweet. Is one of the strategies, and once again, I'm going to read it, is one of the strategies to convince black people to take the mRNA vaccine, which is the COVID vaccine, is to have a black doctor on BET using a bunch of outdated slang and jive talk to describe the vaccine. This sounds like blaxploitation movies from the 70s. So let's make her full screen and let's play it.
And I call the spike protein the gangster's team. One of which is called a spike protein. And I call the spike protein the gangster spike protein because that little gangster spike protein, that's the one that gets in your cell and makes you sick. And so this is what the technology did. This is so dope. So what they did was they said, what if we made a vaccine that was just an mRNA coding only for that little gangster spike protein? And what if we could introduce that into your body, right? And then have your body develop an immune response that then remembers and recognizes it when it actually gets the virus, right? And so the way that it works is I kind of like to think of it as your friends and your homies in your neighborhood, right? So you get this mRNA vaccine, right? It's wrapped up in this little lipid layer that gets it into your cell. Once it gets into your cell, this vaccine, it's the contractor. So it tells the cell, we're going to make these spikes. You start making the spikes, right? But then your body goes, whoa, wait a minute. This is not supposed to be here. Let me call security. Let me call in, all my people. And that is your immune response. So you have these cells called macrophages. They come in to swoop up the cell, but not before your body sends a message to some of these immune cells, like your T cells and your B cells, to create that memory so that when you see this virus come after you later, then you know what to do. So I kind of think of it like, when something happens later, you already got the vaccine and you have these antibodies waiting for something to pop off, and you got the T cells looking around to see what's happening. Then you get hit with COVID, right? But the T cells remember now. They have some memory, right? So they're going to sit back in the cut and be like, oh, that is not who I think it is. And then the antibodies been waiting for something to pop off, and they're like, oh, no. And they just rush. And that's really what belongs to me.
Oh my God. So that right there, this second part is just a clip Tariq posted with this to show how it sounds like one of those blaxploitation movies from the 70s. Now, am I going crazy when I say, what the hell did I just watch? Like, am I silly for asking that? What in the hell was that I just watched? when the T cells pop off, you know what I'm saying? We sitting back in the cut and we watching like, oh snap, what's going on? And like, nah, we the gangster proteins and we gonna come through and whoop up on the COVID, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how niggas talk. Like, are you serious? Like, are you like am I the only person that's just like, what the hell? She gets on TV because, you know, black people, we got to see what's up, like what's popping off, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that ain't the most like stereotypical, foolish BS propaganda type stuff I've ever seen to try to get somebody to take a vaccine, instead of getting up there and talking intelligent. I mean, this lady, if she's a doctor, like they say she is, she spent several years in school, right? Several years in school. She ain't going around talking to her patients, the white patients, let's just call it what it is. She ain't talking to her white patients like that. She ain't talking to her black patients. Maybe she is. Hell, I don't know. But inside the doctor's office, she ain't talking about some gangster proteins and watching how they pop off. And you know what I'm saying? And put my hat to the sideways and start break dancing. And what the hell? Like, what are you talking about, lady? Like, go up there and diagnose what the hell like, if you're trying to get black folks to take the vaccine, whether you think that's right or not, I don't know. I don't care. But if you're trying to get black people to take the vaccine, trying to sound cool or hip or relevant or use slang, that ain't it. That is not it. I mean, are you serious? Do you think we're that stupid? And for the folks at BET, for Tyler Perry, for all the executive producers that think that was cool to put that out there, you ought to be ashamed. Like, you ought to be ashamed. Like, listen to, oh my God. Like, I mean, were we listening to this? When I call that the gangster protein or the vaccine. And that when COVID comes through, we ready for it to pop off. And we sitting back in the cut waiting to, like, what? Are we talking about a vaccine? Or are we talking about a You Got Served movie? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, what am I watching right now? But see, this shouldn't surprise anybody that knows Tyler Perry's history. This shouldn't surprise you. Like, let's look back. Okay, well, you're like, what do you mean, Jeff? If you know Tyler Perry's history, let's look at Tyler Perry movies, right? And why I want to look at Tyler Perry movies is because of the theme. Let's look at some of the themes behind Tyler Perry movies. And it's like, why would we do that? Because it tells you what Tyler Perry's on, what his thought process is, at least towards the black community. Tyler Perry has become a billionaire off films portraying black people. He has become a billionaire off films that disproportionately portray black men as criminals, as dogs, as Satan. And a lot of times you have a white savior in Tyler Perry movies. A white man coming to save the day. While the black man is horrible, the black man is the spawn of Satan, the white man comes in to save the day. You're like, Jeff, I think you're exaggerating. No, I'm not. I've seen a lot of Tyler Perry movies. And I remember Dr. Boyce did a video one time. He was talking about how Tyler Perry is a billionaire, but he said, at what cost? And I was like, damn, Doc, that's kind of rough. At what cost? Right? But then I went back and looked at a list of Tyler Perry movies, and I'm going to show you all. And I think about the themes of these movies, and it's like, damn. Yeah, at what cost to the black community did Tyler Perry become a billionaire? Because we can't act like these movies don't exist. So let's look at them. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. What is the theme of that movie? It's the lawyer who puts his woman out, who literally drags her out of the house for a light-skinned woman, maybe white. I can't remember if she was white or whatever, or just light-skinned, and literally has an extramarital affair, gets that woman, has kids with that woman when his woman can't have kids, his wife, for 20 years, leaves her dead broke, and literally drags that woman out of her house. Drags her, like literally by her damn arms, drags her out of the house. He gets shot and she comes back and takes care of him. That's the theme of that movie. Don't believe me? Go watch it. Medea's Family Reunion. I can't even remember what that one is about. Daddy's Little Girl. You had the drug dealer. You had the mom that was with the drug dealer and the single dad that had to raise the 3 kids. That was the theme of that movie. Daddy's Little Girl. Why Did I Get Married? That was when Jill Scott That was when all the husbands were messed up in that movie in some shape, form, or capacity. Janet Jackson's husband was probably the best one, but Janet Jackson killed their son in a car wreck. You had the other husband that gave his woman a VD, or at least he thought he gave her STD, but actually she gave him STD because they was both sleeping around. And then you had Jill Scott's husband, who literally kicks his wife off the plane. Kicks it. They're taking a trip, a friend's vacation. He brings his mistress on the trip. And his wife, because she was too big to fit on the plane, literally doesn't kick the mistress off, kicks his wife off the plane and forces her to drive up to the cabins. Forces her to drive from wherever they was coming from. That's what, so the black men are just all garbage in that movie. I can't even remember all of these, but I'm just going down the ones that I do remember. Precious. Oh my God. Precious might be the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. The most traumatizing movie I have ever seen in my life. Between getting raped, between getting HIV or AIDS or whatever she got, between Monique being the worst character in the history of movie characters, like Precious is in a class of his own of horrible in how it depicts the black people as just these animalistic creatures. That's what Precious does. It's just horrible. Four Color Girls, I think that's the one where the black man literally tosses his own children off a balcony. He kills his own children, tosses them off of a 4-story balcony. The kids are like 6 or 7 years old. He literally drops them off a damn apartment building balcony. That's what Four Color Girls is about. And I could just go on and on about all of these movies. It's just like, what the hell? Temptation, the movie where they have a good marriage, but he's a good dude, but he literally forgets his wife's birthday every year, and then his wife leaves him for this millionaire that has going around beating up women, giving them AIDS or giving them HIV. So I mean, these are the movies that are produced and written by Tyler Perry about us, about our community, about black people, and now he's taking it up a notch, not making it fictional, a movie. He's taking real doctors and getting up there and having them talk crazy. I don't know about y'all, but that should not be acceptable. Hey, take the gangster protein and the gangster vaccine and coming through, and we waiting in the cut. Like I'm watching an episode of Love and Hip Hop. Like you're supposed to be a well-educated doctor, not Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Like what that... Oh man, I gotta be done with this. Guys, hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Please tell me what your thoughts of Tyler Perry bringing this doctor on BET to try to get people to convince them to take the vaccine. Let me know if you were convinced by that craziness that we watched from that doctor on BET. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe.